Hello, everyone out there in Rumble, X, and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego, and today we're going to talk some more about Wicked. That's right, Wicked, your movie from 2024. If you hang out at gay bars, I'm kidding. No, actually, the movie appeals to everybody. It appealed to me. It's a pretty decent story. I read the book. I actually have it here. This is it, the audiobook, Wicked, by Gregory Maguire. Now, this was published in 1995, okay? But I think when I listen to this whole thing, this is unabridged. When I listen to this whole thing, that's a CD. That's how old it is, all right? This is the one I got a long time ago, all right? When I listened to this, I think it was like 2004, maybe, 2005 when I listened to it. Anyway, but I listened to the whole thing, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty good story. The whole idea back then of making the bad guy from the Wizard of Oz into a sympathetic character, that was very novel back then. It was very nuanced. Like you weren't really getting stories like that. People weren't making stories like that. Now, of course, everybody does that now. Okay, but back then it was a new thing. It was a different take. An unexplored territory. That maybe the Wicked Witch of the West wasn't wicked. As a matter of fact, maybe she was just labeled as wicked. Maybe she had some really bad PR. When the whole time this character was actually very good, but because people were scared, the popular people were scared of this person, they had to label them as bad so that other people would stay away and so that this person wouldn't get any influence. No popularity. Okay, people would stay away from them, shun them. If you paint them a picture that this person is evil, then other people will feel legitimized to insult this person, to even like harm this person. Attack this person, ridicule them, slander them. It's all okay. It's all fair game because this person is wicked. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's like when in movies, where a lot of directors and screenwriters love to do this. Okay, they love to if the character is evil or part of an evil group, like say that they're a Nazi, or if they're like a KKK member or something like that. Whenever you have a character like that in a TV show or in a movie, okay, a lot of times the protagonist, the main character, will do whatever the hell they want to this person. Okay, they'll torture them, they'll ridicule them, they'll belittle them, emasculate them, they'll do whatever. It's not going to be a quick death, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, it's going to be a slow, prolonged, humiliating, emasculating death, and the screenwriters don't feel sorry at all about it. They don't feel any sort of sympathy for this person. Why? Because that person is already a bad guy. Therefore, it's fair game. You see what I mean? Recently, actually a couple years ago, they came out with a TV show called Peacemaker. It's based on a comic book. I'm a comic book nerd. All right, come on. If you're watching this, that means you watch Wicked. That means you're not, you have an open mind when it comes to fantasy and stuff. All right. So the show called Peacemaker, you probably heard of it. It was on HBO Max. With John Cena. It's a spin-off of the Suicide Squad movie that James Gunn wrote and directed. And he wrote and directed Peacemaker, which John Cena plays the character of Peacemaker. And in there, we find out that the bad guys is actually Peacemaker's dad is actually the bad guy. He's the leader of a group of KKK members. I'm not making that up. They're in the Klan, okay, which obviously means they hate anyone who's not a straight white, I guess Baptist or Southern Baptist or whatever. Okay, whatever the KKK were known to be. All right. So that right there triggers a lot of people. Okay, that right there is fair game as a villain. Perfect. This guy's a racist. Yeah, a villain can be a racist. That's right. So obviously this is the villain the good guys have to take down. So what do you do when your villain is a racist? Well, that gives the good guys carte blanche. That means that they can do whatever they want to these people because they're racist. They can torture them. They can kill their family. They can screw their girlfriend. They can kill their kids. Even, they can do whatever, okay? And it's all fair game. Why? Because the villain is a racist. You see what I mean? Because our hero, the fact that our hero is fighting a racist automatically makes the hero or the antagonist or the protagonist automatically makes them. They don't have to be a good guy. But if they're fighting a racist, then that automatically, by default, they become the good guy. So we root for them. And because it's a clan member, of course you can't have any sympathy for them. They're below human. They're not human beings. They deserve to be treated like animals that they are. They deserve to be treated like lesser beings. You see what I mean? And therefore they got carte blanche. They do whatever they want. Okay, and this you see this all the time in chick flicks too. Like if the antagonist or something is, let's say he's a chauvinist or something, or a misogynist, or a sexist, or he uses women for sex, whatever, that gives all the women in the movie complete. That gives them complete authority or agency, you could say, to do whatever the hell they want to this guy. Okay, why? Because he is a sexist. Now, women can be sexist. That's okay. Nothing's gonna happen to them. Because if you do that, then you're the bad guy. But if it's a guy and he's a sexist, then the women have the right to do whatever the hell they want to him. They can torture him. They can cut off his dick. They can, steal all of his money. They can get him fired from his job. They can do whatever the hell they want because he's a sexist. And sexists are automatically, if your antagonist is a sexist, then whoever the hell's fighting the sexist is automatically by default the good guy. Okay, and you see that a lot. I'm thinking of a movie now. Can't remember the name of it. Maybe you know what it is. It's a chick flick. I might have to review it someday. I just remember my girlfriend at the time. She was watching this. I watched it with her. It stars Cameron Diaz was in it. Okay, and I can't remember who the hell else it is, but it's about these three women who are all dating the same guy, but they don't realize it, or they're all married to the same guy, or something like that, but they don't realize it. They don't know about each other, but of course they figure it out. And the guy played Jaime Lannister on Game of Thrones. I know that. I don't remember the actor's name, okay? But you probably know the movie I'm talking about, right? Was it called The Other Woman or something? I don't remember. But anyway, when they find out that their husband or boyfriend, whatever the hell he was seeing all three of them at the same time and they didn't know about it, they decided to plot some revenge. And so for the next hour and a half of the movie, they're doing everything to him. They're like, metaphorically, well, maybe not metaphorically, in the movie, they're doing everything to him. They're ruining his life. They're torturing him. They're, all sorts of stuff is happening to this guy. And when it's justifiable that these women are complete psychopaths, well, they're complete, sadists to this man. And it's completely justified. It's a power fantasy for women. And they love watching this. They love watching a cheater, get his comeuppance. And they're the ones that deliver the blow. You see what I mean? So it's kind of like a power fantasy there, watching someone suffer the way you wish you could make them suffer in real life, but you can't. But in the movies, you can. Okay, so that's kind of what it is. All right. I don't remember the name of the movie. Maybe you can think of it. Okay, but the point that I'm trying to make here is that whenever you have a movie that automatically gives you when the automatic given is that you have the moral high ground, it means that you can do whatever you want. Okay, so whatever's in vogue at the time, maybe if you see a guy, that's why it's like it's more acceptable to kill a human being in a movie than it is to kill an animal, like a dog. Okay, if you kill a person, nobody gives a crap. But if you kill a dog in a movie, the producers, okay, they're gonna have some lawsuits. They're gonna get petitioned against. There's gonna be protesters. PETA's gonna come after you. All sorts of stuff. Okay, people are gonna be disgusted. They're gonna write to the studios, don't ever make a movie like this again. Advertisers are gonna pull their sponsorships. All sorts of stuff. If you hurt an animal, but if you kill a human being, it's okay. All right. The point that I'm trying to make here is that morality is very there's a whole spectrum of it, you could say, in Hollywood and in these movies. Okay, it's all about what the given is. Okay, what's the hypothesis here? Okay, what's the presumption automatically? Okay, because once you're given that, then you realize the range that you have. Okay, so for example, in The Wizard of Oz, okay, obviously the Wicked Witch of the West was evil. So therefore, when she dies at the end, when Dorothy kills her by accident, not on purpose, by accident, okay, it's justified. You don't really feel bad for the Wicked Witch of the West because she was a bad person. She was trying to kill Dorothy. Okay, so you don't feel bad about it. Okay, it's okay. But if you have the presumption all of a sudden that maybe the Wicked Witch of the West wasn't evil, but everyone labeled her as evil, because everybody labeled her as evil and they believed this lie, they believed the propaganda, they believed the MSNBC and CNN. Oops, I'm sorry. We're talking about another person. Okay, and they believe all that stuff, then you feel justified in doing whatever you want. You feel justified, if someone paints a picture of you as a bad guy, then that makes other people feel justified to do whatever the hell they want to you, including assassination. You see what I mean? Okay, and that's what's going on in the story here with Elphaba. Okay, she's got the worst PR team. Okay, there's so much vitriol towards Elphaba. Okay, and the story tells you that it's not her fault. She was labeled that because the powers, the people in charge, the people that control the media in Oz, see her as a threat. So the first thing you got to do is you got to turn the public against that person. Okay, and that's what happens. So in a sense, you feel sorry for Elphaba. You don't see her as wicked. She's just labeled as wicked. Okay, you don't see her as an antagonist that it's okay for her to die. Now all of a sudden it's like, no, I don't want you to die. None of this is your fault. It's not fair. They're the bad guys. They're the bad guys, and they don't even realize what they're doing. They're believing this bullshit propaganda. You see what I mean? Wow, sound familiar? Sound familiar, huh? All right. So, yeah, so that's what's going on here. Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, has got some PR. It's not wicked at all. Okay? So if you paint her in that light, then you don't want her to die now. You don't want Dorothy to throw the water on her. Okay? You actually want them to come to some sort of an agreement. We already know Dorothy's not a bad person. So if Dorothy's not a bad person and Elphaba's not a bad person, then why does Dorothy kill her? You see what I mean? Well, I think for me, I guess the grabber, you could say, that got me interested was, how does that come about? Because I remember halfway through the book, I remember thinking, like, why would Elphaba kill Dorothy? She's not a bad person. Dorothy's not a bad person either. So why would they try to kill each other? You see what I mean? It makes no sense. And I think, the movie comes, the book comes up with a pretty understandable reason. I don't know what the movie's going to do because the movie's based on the Broadway show and I never saw the Broadway show. Okay, I'm not gay. I ain't gonna go see the Wicked on Broadway. Right? All right, that's a bit too far for me. All right, not that you can be straight and go watch Wicked. Okay, I'm not saying don't. It's just like I've never had an interest to go see the Broadway show. All right, but I did enjoy the book. Okay, I did enjoy the book. All right, and so far the movie is not, obviously it's not as good as the book, but it did make some changes. Okay, some of it are good, some of them are not. I don't like how I don't like the fact that they made Elphaba the one. Okay, she's born with all this power that she can't control, and nobody raises the bullshit flag that maybe this woman should not be going to school as she is. Okay, she's a danger to herself and to everyone else in the school. No, that never comes up. The thought of that possibly Elphaba hurting someone even by accident, the thought that she could do that because she can. She levitated everybody up in the air earlier. That never comes across anybody's mind that maybe Elphaba might be a threat to the students, okay, or the faculty even. All right, that never comes up. All right, so that I didn't like, but I did like Cynthia Erivo's portrayal. Now, personally, I think Cynthia Erivo's a piece of crap. She's just another narcissist, entitled, insufferable feminist lesbo bitch, okay, who thinks she's entitled to everything because of the shit that happened in this country, not her country. She's British, okay. Shit happened in this country like 170 years ago. Fuck you, okay. Get over it. All right, you weren't there. I wasn't there. Okay, no, get over that shit. All right, get over it. All right, it was a long time ago. Okay, let it stay there. Okay, but these activists, they got to keep digging up the corpse. They kind of keep digging it up. They won't fucking bury it, okay? Because they know damn well as long as they can keep that alive, they can feel entitled to do whatever they want. You see what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. The gaslighting, the manipulation, okay? How can you feel like you're a hero if there's no villain to fight? You can't be a hero unless there's a villain for you to defeat. And if there isn't a villain for you to defeat, you got to make one up. You see what I mean? How can you be an activist towards a social cause if that cause is already gone? Okay, they got rid of it a long time ago. No, you got to bring it back. You got to tell everyone it's still around. It's everywhere. There's a racist everywhere. There's one under your bed right now. They're at your job. They're hiding. Okay, there's Klan meetings going on in your apartment building. You just don't know about it. You see what I mean? Okay. So now you got to step up and do something. That's the gaslighting. That's what it is, okay? And I feel sorry for the kids. I feel sorry for the kids that go to these schools and are told this because they come out angry. They come out wanting to attack everybody that doesn't agree with them, okay? And how are you going to have a good society that way? You can't. You can't. You know. Anyway, and the reason I got political right here is because this movie's political. The book is political. Okay, I mean, the guy that wrote this, he was a draft dodger, Gregory Maguire. I mean, you know. Well, actually, I think he was in college. I don't think he died and dodged the draft. Okay, but he didn't go. You know, he protested against the Vietnam War because he didn't have to go because he was rich. He was going to school. Whereas my father had to go because he was poor. He couldn't go to college. So he had to go. You see what I mean? Anyway, moving right along. So let's talk about the movie some more here, okay? I'm Diego. I'm going to give you a straight man's point of view. That's what I do here, okay? And like I said, this movie's not that bad. There's a lot of good things in here, all right? But, you know, when I don't like it, I'm going to call it out, okay? All right, so moving right along, where we left off last time, we were introduced to Dr. Dillamond, okay, in his classroom. Someone wrote some hate speech on the back of his chalkboard, okay? This movie's perfect for today's climate, especially with all the political stuff going on right now, you know, all the hatred for our last administration's president, you know, and now he's in charge. He's going to be in charge again, you know. It's just, you know, it's ridiculous. Like, obviously, you know, these Ivy League people, they go work in Hollywood. They write their screenplays. The producers, okay, the studio heads, all the bureaucrats involved, you know, in the studio system, okay, and the corporations. They're all went to those schools. Okay, they're all indoctrinated into this message thing, okay, and they're only going to accept stories that come with this message. The financial institutions, you know, the shareholders like Vanguard and BlackRock, okay, they're all went to those schools too, okay, they're all, you know, they all drank the Kool-Aid, they're all enforcing this crap so that we're going to keep getting it, but they're not in touch with what the modern public wants. The majority of the country doesn't want that, and we voted and told them so. So now, because of this giant campaign that we had, okay, this election that we had, okay, which is the biggest marketing survey ever, you know, now everyone has to backpedal. They have to like change everything. Okay, so by the time we start getting new entertainment that doesn't have all this activism in it, all this political shit in it, it's going to be another 2 or 3 years before we start getting that, because they just put the brakes on it like now. Okay, everything. Look at all the stuff that's already in production right now. Look at all the stuff that's already going to come out. It's done. It's been filmed. It's been edited. They're just waiting for the release date. They can't go back and remake all that stuff. They already spent too much money. So all this crap that came out is still going to come out for the next 2 or 3 years before we start getting some new stuff. Some stuff that doesn't, you know, just you know, attack you for being a Christian, or attack you for being white, or attack you for being straight, or whatever. Okay, you know, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while before that happens. And obviously, this movie is a good example of what they were trying, the message they're trying to pull. Okay, this movie went into production right after our last president lost the election, and we got our new president, if you want to call him a president. I mean, the guy fucking shits himself. All right, you know, that guy, who's really running the country, okay? So, of course, the climate was like, yes, you know, let's put some more of this woke propaganda ideology, okay? And so that's what we're suffering through right now, all this shit that was greenlit years ago, okay? And this movie is one of it. It's not as bad as I thought it might be, but it's there. The political messaging is there. The ideology is there, okay? They definitely want you to think a certain way. Okay, I mean, just look at the background. Look at all the students that go to shiz. Okay, they're all wearing like outfits, like uniforms that are half skirts and half pants. Okay, that's on purpose. Okay, look at I already went over this in other videos, but look at the cast members. Okay, I think you've only got like 2 straight people in this whole fucking movie, or maybe 3. You got 3 straight people, actors in this movie. You've got Ariana Grande, who's been known to go both ways, but technically she's straight because, you know, she has been married to guys, she has dated guys, okay? In fact, she left her husband for another guy that's in this movie, Ariana Grande. You got Jeff Goldblum. Everyone knows he's a womanizer, right? He's been acting forever. He cheated on Gina Davis when he was married to her, I think. I know he cheated on Laura Dern, okay? I mean, he's cheated on every girlfriend he's had, all right? He's known for that, Jeff Goldblum, okay? I know he's straight. Okay, and then who else? I think Ethan Slater, the guy that plays Bach. We know he's straight because he left his wife, okay, and his newborn baby to be with Ariana Grande in real life. Okay, so I know, and I think that's it. Oh, maybe Michelle Yeoh. Okay, so it's 4 right there. Okay, everyone else in this fucking movie is gay. Everyone from the producers, the directors, the assistant directors, the screenwriters, the guy that created the Broadway show, the guy that wrote this, the guy that wrote the damn book is gay. Okay, the actress that plays Nessa Rose, and yes, she's crippled in real life. Okay, I forgot her name, but she's gay in real life. Cynthia Erivo's gay in real life. Okay, Elphaba herself. Okay, the guy that plays the stud. Okay, Fiyero, that guy, the actor that plays him. You know, he's supposed to be 18, but he's played by a fucking 36-year-old who actually looks like he's 36. Okay, that fucker, Jonathan Bailey, he's fucking gay. All right? What the fuck? Why is it because it's the Wizard of Oz it has to be gay? Okay, I know L. Frank Baum was not gay. All right? All right, moving right along. So in the last episode, in the last video I did, we talked about Dr. Dillamon, the professor, okay, the history professor at Shiz. He's being persecuted. He's being marginalized because he's an animal, a talking animal. And whoever's in charge right now, or someone is doing it, these animals are just starting to disappear. They're getting fired from their jobs. They're being persecuted. You know, we don't serve your kind here. That kind of stuff. You know, pretty soon they're going to go off the fucking gas chambers, all right? That's what's happening to animals in Oz, the talking intelligent animals. That's what's happening right now. Elphaba sees this and she realized that she's not the only person being persecuted in Oz right now. She's being persecuted. She's being, you know, marginalized because of her skin color, right? But other people, animals are being treated the same way and worse. Okay, so far nobody's trying to kill Elphaba, okay, but somebody's trying to kill these animals, okay, because they're disappearing. And they're having secret clandestine meetings, okay? As a matter of fact, Elphaba befriended Dr. Dillamon because she felt sorry for him, okay, and she follows him that night after class. She follows him back to his house, you know, and she spies in there, and she sees they're having a meeting with all the animals are there, okay? Now, these are all intelligent animals that are talking animals, and they're all talking about the situation, the Holocaust, if you will, okay? Animals are disappearing. Their friends are starting to disappear. Nobody knows where they are, okay? And they're afraid that this is all on purpose, okay? Okay, so, yeah, so I can tell him horrible. Okay, so that's going on, okay? But before that happens here, the next scene after we were in Dr. Dillamon's classroom, the next scene is Madame Morrible and Elphaba, okay? And this is the scene you saw in the trailer where she's trying to levitate a coin with her telekinesis powers because she's the chosen one, right? And she's having trouble doing it. It's attached to her emotion. If she can get herself all emotional, then she can start moving things, okay? But if she's calm or thinking rationally, she can't do it. It's only when she loses her shit, when she gets emotional, okay, that all of a sudden she starts moving things, right? Okay, so Madame Morrible, the sorcery professor there, she's trying to get her there. Okay, and Elphaba gets angry, telling her about the way, telling Madame Morrible about the way that Dr. Dillamon was treated in class earlier that day. Okay, you know, she tells her what happened in class with the hate speech. Someone wrote on the back of his blackboard in front of everybody there. When you turn the blackboard, it said it on there. It said animals should be seen and not heard. Okay, and of course, nobody in the classroom fessed up to writing it. Okay, and Elphaba gets on her pedestal here, metaphorically, and tells Madame Morrible, that no one should be laughed at and scorned or looked down upon. You know, so now here's the activists coming out. Okay, everyone in this fucking movie is a fucking activist. All right. Anyway, you can't work in Hollywood without being an activist. All right. So, you know, so she gets up there and says, like, you know, it's not fair that no one should be laughed at and scorned, you know, or looked down upon. Now, she can say this when she sees something happening to somebody else, but when it's happening to her, like, for example, the way her father treats her, she doesn't stand up for herself. Okay, but if it was happening, like, to her sister, Nyssa Rose, or to Dr. Dillamon, then she'll say something. Okay? Because she gets mad, she levitates the coin and smashes it through the glass in front of Morrible, all right? Morrible tells her that if she gets better and practices and keeps doing her studies, okay, then she will get to meet the wizard. Oh, lucky her! She wants to meet the wizard. That's her goal. That's her dream, to one day meet the Wizard of Oz. All right. Now the next scene, Elphaba follows Dr. Dillamon. That's the scene where I told you about. She follows him home, and there's a meeting going on there with all the animals. Okay, and they start singing a song called "Something Bad." Okay, it's happening in Oz. Okay, something bad. That's the name of the song. Is happening in Oz. All right. And by the way, Dr. Dillamon, the talking goat professor with glasses, okay, and drinks tea. He's voiced by Peter Dinklage. Okay, that's the dwarf, the midget from Game of Thrones. Okay, Tyrion Lannister. Yeah, Tyrion Lannister. Right. From Game of Thrones. And by the way, incidentally, Peter Dinklage is also the reason that you have CGI dwarves in the new Snow White movie that's coming out next year. It's because of him. They actually hired human beings to play the dwarves, and Peter Dinklage raised a fuss. He also said that you shouldn't be hiring real life dwarves to play the dwarves because that's discriminatory somehow. So because Peter Dinklage, Disney caved immediately, you know, and they decided to just CGI the dwarves. All right, and that's why Snow White's not going to make any money. Well, one of the reasons. There's lots of reasons that movie's going to fail, but that is just one of them. All right, anyway, so we hear something bad, okay? And Elphaba gets spotted eavesdropping, so all the animals flee. They just run the hell out of there. So the only one left is Dr. Dilliman, but it's his house. He ain't going to go anywhere. He recognizes Elphaba and invites her in. You know, he doesn't see her as a threat at all, you know? And, you know, and she tells him, she's like, listen, I heard the whole meeting you had. Is it true? Is this really happening? You know, and he tells her, yeah. No, she says, is this really going to happen? The animals are going to start disappearing? And he tells her, it's already happening. It's happening right now. You know, she says, well, someone needs to talk to Oz. Someone needs to talk to the wizard. You know, we got to put a stop to this. You know, anyway, Dr. Dilliman tells Elphaba to keep quiet about this, okay? It's dangerous to speak about this out loud, all right? Now, the next scene has Elphaba. She goes out into the night with she's out there in the woods walking back home, I guess, from Dilliman's house. And she's in the woods. It's dark. And she almost gets run over by a man on his horse. She almost gets trampled, all right? And we find out who this man is. This is our introduction to Fiyero. Now, Fiyero is the stud, okay? He's Mr. Square-jawed, you know, 8-pack abs, you know, tight buns, you know, big cock, wealthy, super fucking good looking, you know, that all the women and the men all want to fuck him. Okay, that's him. That's Prince Fiyero. Yes, he's a prince too. All right. So he was on his horse. He almost tramples her. He immediately gets off and apologizes. Okay, he tells her, "Oh, I didn't see you there. It's like because you know, I guess because you blended in. You see, she's green. You know, because I guess you blended in with the shrubbery. All right." And of course, Elphaba gets all, you know, he tries to apologize to her, and of course, she berates him. You know, and then she goes into her usual speech. Whenever someone meets her for the first time, she says, "Okay, let's get this out of the way. No, I'm not seasick." You know, and he says, "Well, neither am I." She's like, "No, I did not eat grass growing up." And he says, "Well, I did." And then she says, "And yes, I've always been green." And he says, "And all this defensiveness that you have, okay, is that a new thing? You know, is that a recent development? You know?" And of course, he has a British accent. It makes those some characters have British accents, some characters have American accents. It's never explained how that happens, all right? Anyway, so she gives him a charming smile. Oh, he gives her a charming smile. You know? Okay, he's flirting with her, obviously, okay? And offers him a ride, and she declines. Okay? And this is the first time, he says this out loud, he talks to himself. When she walks away from him, he says, "Oh my God, I've actually been rejected by a woman. Well, I guess this is the first time for everything." You know, just like that. All Hugh Grant style, right? Okay, and to me, I'm going to raise the bullshit flag here, okay? Because high-value men, okay, men that can get a lot of pussy, and which it pisses me off, I got to talk about this all the time, because most men are not high-value men. Most men are average, just like you ladies. Most men are average, and then some are below average, okay? The high-value men, these are the men that all the women want to fuck, okay? There's it's such a small percentage of men that can pull that off, that it's not even really worth talking about. But yet, whenever we make these movies, those are the only men that are ever represented, okay? I mean, okay, obviously, yeah, Bach is in there, but Bach is pathetic. You're made to look at him like he's pathetic. There's no average guy. Bach is below average. Okay, you've got Bach, who's below average, and then you got Prince Fiyero, the two extremes here, okay? And yet, whenever women are talking about men, they're always talking about the fucking 1% Fiyeros that are out there. They never talk about the rest of the guys. Those are the guys that aren't really represented. And that pisses me off. You know, anyway, so, yeah, so so like I said, all high-value men, okay, become obsessed with girls that reject them. Okay, that's bullshit. Okay, so now he's kind of like upset, not obsessed, but he's intrigued by Elphaba because she actually shot him down. He's not used to being shot down. That's bullshit. Okay, now, average guy might be a little bit curious as to why that happened, you know, or maybe he already knows. And of course, a low value guy, he already knows why she shot him down. He's used to it by now. Okay, he wouldn't even flirt with her because he already knows what's going to happen. Okay, but a high value man who gets shot down by ugly Elphaba, okay, he's not going to be like, oh wow, she's not like all the other girls. No. That does not fucking make a guy want to chase her. Okay, like a high value man can get pussy. It's not difficult. Okay, he's not going to obsess over a girl that rejects. He's just going to go to a girl that didn't reject him. And if he did obsess, or in the small chance that he would obsess over a girl that rejected him, it ain't gonna be a girl that looks like fucking Cynthia Erivo in green fucking body paint. Okay? But then again, you know, what the hell? Okay, gay guys wrote it, and gay guys playing it. This is what a gay guy thinks straight guys go through. Okay? They think that the things that turn women on, now women are attracted to a guy that doesn't automatically give them attention, especially if he's good looking and he's rich and he's all these things, and she's used to men just doing whatever fucking she tells them to do. They're always complimenting her. They're always asking her out. They're always staring at her. They're always giving her attention. And also this one high value guy doesn't do any of those things and walks away from her. Now she's like, oh, wow. You know, he's not intimidated by me. Okay, women go through that. High value women go through that. High value men do not. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, anyway, so that's going on here, okay? Yeah, anyway. Moving right along, okay? The next scene here, it turns out that the entire media, the mainstream media that they have in the Emerald City, or not sorry, Emerald City, but in Oz, I guess there's a radio station or something, because there's a broadcaster, a female broadcaster broadcasting the news. We don't see a radio. We don't see a cell phone. We don't see an iPad. We don't see nothing. Okay, nobody's got fucking Bluetooth in their ear. None of that shit. But someone is broadcasting from a radio station in Oz. This is the second time we're at the radio broadcast. The first time was the beginning of the movie when we see Elphaba's hat on top of a puddle of water. Obviously, she just died. Okay. And we heard a radio announcer talking about how the Wicked Witch West has just been killed and blah, blah, blah. And now we hear it again, but yet there's not a one radio in sight anywhere in Oz. They've got a movie projector, but nobody's got a radio, nobody's got a cell phone. Okay, but yet someone is announcing Prince Fiyero is arriving to Shiz today. Like, what the fuck? How would they know that? I mean, it's in the fucking newspaper too. All right? So anyway, radio newspaper, okay? And they have a radio and they have a newspaper in Oz. Okay, anyway, they announced the Fiyero's arrival at Shiz, and Glinda, of course, reads this, and she starts getting all fucking wet, starts playing with herself, all right? You know, because this is the perfect guy for her, right? And she starts going through her entire wardrobe, which, by the way, everything she owns, from her underwear to her dress to her shoes, everything is fucking pink. That's all Glinda has, is pink clothes. Anyway, so Fiyero, of course, arrives, okay, at the school, and everybody, you know, every boy and girl is fucking playing with themselves, you know, or they're playing with their hair. They're all fucking doing that, including the boys. They're just standing there while Fiyero just walks in there like, like that, okay? And of course, they're all okay with it. Now, if I do it, I'm a stuck-up chauvinist, fucking misogynistic, deluded pig. But when he does it, you know, he's like, oh my God, he's so hot. You can ask me whatever you want. Yeah. I swear to fucking God. Anyway, moving right along. So he's there, strutting, okay, playing with everyone's playing with themselves when he walks into the school campus. They all get thirsty for him. He approaches Fanny. Now, who is Fanny? Fanny is one of Glinda's cronies, one of her fucking lackeys that she has. She has two. She has a fat white girl named Shen Shen, and then she has a very gay Asian boy with glasses named Fanny, and that's him. And Fanny, of course, is about to fucking come in his fucking pants once Fiyero starts walking towards him, okay? And then he says, may I ask you a favor? And Fanny's like, enroll here much? You can ask me anything. And he's like, no, I just want you to move. So I look at the map of the campus. You're like, oh, well, I guess that's anything. Okay. You know, now come on. I know the character's supposed to be fucking gay, but do they have to fucking just do it so fucking egregiously? I mean, real life gay people don't act that fucking gay. I mean, Jesus Christ, we're talking about belaboring the point. He's got to hit it over. Okay, he's fucking gay. He's fucking gay. Okay, we get it. God, everyone in the fucking movie's gay. What the fuck? Anyway. Now, Glinda, of course, sees him there, okay, and she decides she's going to try to seduce him by playing the honey pot. Okay, y'all know what that is. That's where she, like, says something, you know, maybe flirtation, then walks away and sees if he'll chase her. Okay? I guess that's how she's used to getting guys, even though she's got the body of a fucking 11-year-old boy, okay? And her face has been fucking done to death. Now, she's not completely unattractive. I wouldn't kick her out of bed, okay? But she ain't the most beautiful girl in the world, okay? She needs to get some fucking meat. She needs to get some muscle tone, and she needs to get some fucking tits and a fucking ass, because she has none. Ariana Grande has none of these things. And if she did have it in the past, she's lost it now, okay? She ain't as pretty as she thinks she is. Now, I know, okay, I'm probably speaking to the preaching in the choir right now, because I just described pretty much every fucking famous girl in Hollywood, especially today where it's fucking you're shamed for being beautiful and sexy, okay? But it's fucking true, okay? And just because the gay guys think that fucking Ariana Grande is flawless does not mean that the straight men like me do, okay? Boom. And in the end, whose opinion really counts? Yeah, exactly, all right? All right, I'm losing my shit. Okay, I'm going to stop my review right here, but I'll be back shortly to continue my review of Wicked. I thank you for watching this long, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.